Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. It's showtime. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everybody in there, like the video before we even get started here. We're about 30 seconds away.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's...
All righty. Yes. Good morning, everyone. 4 minutes after the hour, my name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the radio, The Steve Kane Show. That's right. And of course, this is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week because this is not just our live morning edition of the program. This is our overnight rebroadcast for the entire weekend. You know, we broadcast live on the radio Monday through Friday from 6 until 9 a.m. with overnight rebroadcast midnight till 6 a.m. And just on our radio stations, I'm not including the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, my YouTube channel, our radio station app, our live streaming at stevekaneshow.com, and all the other places that carry this show with and without our permissions. And a reminder, if you're carrying this program without permission, you are in violation, and we will find out about it. You must have permission, written permission at that, and we've given it to no one. But just on our radio stations, the Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show will air a total of 35 times before we return live to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. So we always want to make sure the Friday show is the best, and we got a lot to talk about today. And being Friday, it is open phones, as I try not to say Open Phone Friday because I don't want to steal from Rush Limbaugh, but it is open phones on Friday. So long as you're relevant to the news cycle, we don't want to talk about how to rid your cat and dog of fleas, but certainly you're welcome to talk about anything that is relevant to the news cycle on Fridays. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, this is a topic that I am very reluctant to discuss, and those that watch me on YouTube, the title on my YouTube channel and the thumbnail on my YouTube video is this: Did Jesse Waters betray Trump? And I'm reluctant to do this. I'm reluctant to talk about this, but I'm going to share something with you that happened last night on Jesse Waters' show. I was flipping back and forth between Greg Kelly, the great Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV, and Jesse Waters. Leaning heavier on Greg Kelly on Newsmax, of course. But Jesse Waters did something last night that this is his first week, and there was no need for him to do this. Did any of you catch what Jesse Waters did last night? Do you know what I'm referencing? I'm not going to troll for calls on it, but do you know what I'm referencing? Because when I tell you what I believe is a betrayal of President Trump and MAGA, and a huge chunk of the viewers that are Trump-supporting MAGA, last night, Jesse Waters did the story on Kamala going to Central America, meeting with the communist anti-Semite president down there. And who did he bring on as a guest to discuss it? Mike Pence. Vice President Mike Pence. And not only did he have Vice President Mike Pence on, he was yucking it up with him. I've got two clips of Jesse Waters with Mike Pence last night on the program. I have his introduction and I have his goodbye. Everything in between, I saw that. I was out of there. I couldn't believe it. I was back to Greg Kelly and stayed all the way through Stitchfeld. In fact, fell asleep watching Newsmax TV last night. I want to ask your thoughts on this. And the question is, here's the question. Did Jesse Waters betray Trump last night by having Mike Pence on as a guest, yucking it up with him. I only am going to play you the intro, and then I'll play his goodbye. Let me find. This is the beginning. This is Jesse Waters. He did the segment on Kamala, showed some video, and then he brings in Mike Pence. Here it is.
Former Vice President Mike Pence joins me now. Good to see you, Mr. Vice President.
Great to see you, Jesse. Congratulations on the new show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. We're very excited. So when you did the handoff with Kamala Harris during the inauguration, I'm sure you gave her some very sweet personal advice. Do you think she's taken your advice? I mean, what did you tell her? Did you tell her to go find out root causes?
Well, look, that's an old mantra of back in the days of the Obama-Biden.
Okay, so that's the hello. I'll play the goodbye in a moment. He's yucking it up with Mike Pence. Did Jesse Waters betray President Trump by having Mike Pence on last night? Did Jesse Waters betray MAGA by having Mike Pence on yucking it up last night? Did Jesse Waters betray the audience, the viewers of his new program by having Mike Pence on last night, yucking it up with him? I want to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. There's been rumors floating around that Mike Pence may be running for president. I found it quite odd to have Pence on. I really did. I found it quite bizarre on his first week to have him on. Why did this happen? Was this Jesse Waters' idea? Was it Fox News executives forcing him to do? I don't know. If I had Mike Pence on this show, if I had Mike Pence on the phone and I was yucking it up with him, it's one thing to have him on and give him some grief and ask some tough questions. This was what they're doing on Fox. It was very weird. I was out of there. I was out. And the clips, I went and got them this morning. I was like, I'm out of here. And I was back to Newsmax. And you know what? I don't know if I'm ever going to return. I don't know if I'm ever going to return to the program. I thought it was so weird. This is about a lot of things, but it looks as if they're trying to resurrect the reputation of Mike Pence. So he yucks it up there in the beginning. And then here is the end. Here's the goodbye. I didn't watch the in-between. I don't want to hear the in-between. Even when I pulled these clips out this morning, I just watched the beginning and the end to get the audio to share with you. I'm not interested in anything Mike Pence has to say. Here's the goodbye.
Pence, who you'll be seeing in your neck of the woods in a Ford driving through.
Okay, hold on. I cut it a little, so let me go back. Hold on, here we go.
Mike Pence, who you'll be seeing in your neck of the woods in a Ford driving through.
Mike Pence, who you will see in a Ford in your neck of the woods driving through. He's promoting the Mike Pence campaign.
Mike Pence, who you'll be seeing in your neck of the woods in a Ford driving through. Give him a honk, Mike.
Promise I will. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse. Give him a wave. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Am I petty here? I was very reluctant to share this today. I was going to do it on my podcast over the weekend because on Tuesday's show, we talked about the first debut episode of Jesse Waters and how strange that show was, which is true. And then I watched Jesse Waters. I didn't catch the second show, but I got a chunk of the show on the third night, Wednesday. And I thought, okay, they've straightened out a lot of the ego problems, you know. So it's like a serious show. I told a caller yesterday on the show, it sounded to me like he was filling in for Tucker Carlson. It was like a serious show. So I'm flipping back and forth last night between Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV and Jesse Waters, and then boom, this happens. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why is he yucking it up with Mike Pence? MAGA does not like Mike Pence. And I'll tell you what, either does President Trump. I don't care what anybody says, including Mike Pence. And then at the end, promoting the campaign. See, a lot of you guys may not realize this. Karl Rove. Why is Karl Rove on Fox all the time? Why do you think? Does anyone really care about Karl Rove? Karl Rove is a campaign manager for campaigns throughout the entire country. Okay? During congressional races, governor races, and everything. And those campaigns do massive ad buys on Fox News Channel at the local level for the campaign team manages. And I've often suspected when they have Karl Rove on, it's like having on a sponsor. Okay? It's like having on an advertiser. I think there's some of that. Mike Pence, they're yucking it up with Mike Pence, and then at the end, Mike Pence driving a Chevy through your neck of the woods soon. Give him a wave, promoting the Mike Pence campaign, which is a joke. That was too much for me. And I'm a tolerant guy, but to do that before the first week, has President Trump been on that show this week? I haven't caught President Trump on there. So, okay, let me take some calls on this. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. Perhaps. I don't think so. But I want to hear your thoughts. 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Thomas from Boca.
Hey, Boca. What's up?
Good morning. I think there's a big movement in the GOP that the Trump haters that are out there are trying to find another candidate. And they've been listed as Mike Pence because they think he's the only one that could go against the great leader, Donald Trump. And by pushing him in every which way and putting pressure on people that they know, we're going to see more and more of that in the next coming months. He is running for president.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to realize that there's people fighting us.
So what about now Jesse Waters? I mean, what's going on with Jesse Waters? Is this a betrayal of President Trump by Jesse Waters?
I guess the network wants to play it down the middle because they want the ads, of course, and but they also want controversy is ratings, perhaps. I mean, there's got to be.
Well, it got me to do something that's counter ratings. I changed the channel. I went to Newsmax.
Well, I've seen that also. I mean, I don't trust Fox in the upcoming election. I think that they have.
Listen, they didn't carry Trump's rally in Arizona 2 weeks ago. President Trump has a rally tomorrow night in Texas. They're probably not going to carry that, and they're having Mike Pence on. And listen, sometimes people have to do things. I've had to talk to people on the air over the years that I didn't want to talk to, that I had to for whatever reason. Okay, but I wasn't yucking it up like that. I did a respectable job, but I wasn't there buddying up to him.
Well, Donald Trump's, I could say, that back many times, and now he learned what politics is about. He wasn't a politician; he was a business person. So now he's out there again, and he has to weed out the people that are still Pence followers and is amongst his own people. After a while, even though the best MAGA people did grow some kind of alliance with Pence, and whether they want to go against him or have to weed that out. And I think he's got a rough road ahead of him. I don't think it's as easy as you think. I mean, he's my first choice. He's my only choice. In fact, as far as I consider, he's still president.
Yeah, well, there's no other choice in 2024. It's Donald Trump. Even Ron DeSantis agrees with that. I mean, if Donald Trump were in the White House right now, Ron DeSantis would be our nominee. But he's not, so it's Trump. And anyone who opposes Trump's nomination and run for president, unless it's Mike Huckabee, because he'd kind of run sometimes for the fun of it, he's not serious. But other than Huckabee, anybody else who's running for president against Trump, you put them on the list of Never Trumpers. And would you put Jesse Waters on the Never Trumper list with that Mike Pence appearance?
Yeah, you have to wait and see. I mean, remember, everything is for ratings. And then if you're in the entertainment business, maybe that's just a thing. Let's see if he gives equal time to Trump.
Equal time? Trump doesn't get equal time to anybody. Trump gets whatever time he wants. They're not carrying the rally. They're not. They have not been carrying rallies of President Trump. Well, putting the rallies on the Fox Nation app doesn't cut it. Hey, listen, I gotta run for our first break of the day, but thanks for the call. All right, there's only one opening on our board. The question on the table: did Jesse Waters betray Trump? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of the day. Be back with your calls after this.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar
Steve
with
Kane
the
Show.
famous erection injection, an
Hold on.
extremely effective treatment
Steve
for
Kane Show.
erectile dysfunction, made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show.
Steve
I'm
Kane
here
Show.
to tell you that the erection injection
Hold on.
is just the tip of the
Steve Kane Show.
when it comes to the extensive
Hold on.
array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra. And
Tell me, yes or no, did Jesse Waters betray Trump in the chat room? Yes or no? Did Jesse Waters betray Trump by having pins on?
testing the most current treatment options, all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. So the question on the table, did Jesse Waters betray Trump by having pins on last night and yucking it up with him? That's the question on the table. We have a full board of calls. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Pete, Fort Lauderdale.
Pete in Fort Lauderdale. What's up?
Well, this Pence guy, I don't have nothing for him. I know you're a radio host and everything. You have to keep up with the news, but when Fox did what they did.
Well, Lou Dobbs, who's facing, like Mike Lindell, a huge lawsuit. You know, and I don't know. I don't know, but I would guess that Fox, who was facing similar lawsuits, might have made a deal to get the suit dropped by dropping Lou Dobbs. But we're talking about Jesse Waters today. Did Jesse Waters betray Trump by not only having pins on, but yucking it up, promoting his campaign, and trying to humanize him?
Well, in my book, absolutely, because I haven't had anything to do with Mike Pence since he didn't.
Well, so that's one. Okay, that's good. You know, I don't want to get sidetracked on other things. I want to stay clear on this because this is the show flavor of the month right now. Jesse Waters is it is because it's a debut. It's a big deal. It's the hottest show right now. It's the hottest show in cable news right now. Okay, and the ratings are through the roof this week. And to do that at all, especially the first week, whoo, boy. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian, it's Bill from Pennsylvania. Hi.
Hey, Bill.
Good. Hey, listen, I watched Jesse Waters last night, and I'm just trying to put things into context, okay? Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I'm a Jesse Waters fan. I watch him. I talked to you a couple times this week. With Mike Pence, all my skin did crawl. Okay, there's no doubt about it. But prior to that, he got into the children of Schumer and Biden and all their shenanigans. And at the end, he got in with Kobe Covington, I don't know if you know him, the MMA fighter, and he brought some stuff on about Trump.
Well, listen, just because... Okay, hold on a sec. Slow down. Just because someone is in league with never-Trumpers doesn't mean they're a liberal, right? Like Liz Cheney, right? She's the leader of this kangaroo committee. She's a conservative. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not questioning whether or not Jesse Waters is a conservative or not. What I'm questioning is having Pence on, yucking it up with Pence, promoting his presidential campaign, resurrecting him as a human. I'm talking specifically about that. I saw it and I was in shock.
Brian, like I said, it didn't sit with me well, okay, being a MAGA. But let's just say that the higher-ups in Fox made him do that, which is a possibility. We already decrowed. He came back later on with his own segment, which you call trash talk, and he showed Trump just trash talking crooked Hillary, and it went on and on and on based on some feelings that Biden had. So I don't know if he put that back to just throw it back and
well, yeah, but I mean, you hear about, sometimes like a fallen minister, right? A fallen minister, on Sunday, he's at the pulpit, he's preaching the word. The next day, he's, sleeping with some guy's wife from the congregation, and then he's back at the pulpit. That doesn't change what he did in between when he was doing great work at the pulpit.
Interview people yourself that you don't want to interview. We all had to. Somebody has to do something in life that they don't even want.
But Jesse Water. Okay, that was not an interview under duress. Okay, that was an interview where Jesse Waters. I'll play the clips again after I talk to you. Jesse Waters went the extra mile in that interview to humanize Mike Pence. A few extra steps that he didn't have to do. He could have gone through it.
When he said Fox plays itself down the middle, there's no doubt about it.
Why do you assume? Why do you assume he was made to do that?
You mentioned it. I was hoping he was made to do it. Like I said, we all have to work for somebody. Okay, except me, I'm retired. But here's the other thing. Okay, Fox plays it down the middle. Okay, like it was said, and that's what they're into. I trust Fox. I don't trust Fox. But if you take Jesse Waters in the hole, which I do, I would have to say 70% to 80%. He's for Trump.
Well, he had Eric on this week, but this what burned me about this was just having him on like this burned me, but yucking it up with him like he did.
Pence claimed, and I don't trust that either. That him and our President Trump, are now on amicable terms since summer. Now that's what he claims.
What does that mean?
I'm telling you what Pence said. So
yeah.
Say that Trump forgave him for lack.
Well, they're on good terms. Do you think Pence will be introducing President Trump in Texas tomorrow night at the rally?
No, I don't think.
Of course not. And what would happen if Pence? Okay, slow down for a second. If the Trump rally in Texas tomorrow, which we'll all be watching, if Pence walked out on stage, what would happen?
I'll tell you what. Like you always said, bro.
No. What would if Pence walked out on stage? No. Don't tell me. Answer the question. If Pence walked out on stage at the Trump rally tomorrow night in Texas, what would happen?
Well, most likely. I'm not sure.
You're not sure? They would boo. He would be booed off the stage. I don't know that's. Listen, he would be booed. He would be booed. Trump can do no wrong. He's done no wrong. Yeah, that's right. Trump's never done anything wrong. He would be booed off the stage, Mike Pence. In fact, you know what I would like to do? I'd like to do a boo meter to see who gets booed more. You put on the big screens, put up a photograph of Hillary first, right? Get the boo meter out. Take that. Then put a big photo up of Pence on the screen at the rally and do a boo meter to see who got the loudest boos. I think Pence would get louder boos than Mrs. Clinton.
President Trump was to bring him back into the tent, for whatever reason. Would you forgive Pence?
If Trump brought him out and put his arm around him and publicly forgave him and asked for his help and blah 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 and said he was good to go, then I would reconsider. But that hasn't happened yet. Jesse Waters is not Trump.
You're asking me the question about the boo meter at the rally.
Oh yeah, he'd get booed more than Hillary. Hey, listen, I got to run, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on the board where I was just talking to that caller. Our number, toll free, 888-GO-KANE1, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Back right after this.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow, by over 20 retailers, has lost over $65 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support MyPillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell. Visit MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Don't let the tech giants, don't let the left, and don't let the media cancel Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building.
Michael, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Michael Golden for that super chat. You're right, Brian. Waters is a mercenary shill to not put Pence on the spot with difficult questions. Who's next? Cheney. Mike from Massapequa.
Standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco,
Steve Kane Show.
concrete restoration, impact windows and doors,
Hold on.
weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at LaportaContracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, welcome back. 33 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. All right, we have a full board of calls. If you're on hold, stand by. Let me recap, and I want to play the 2 short clips before I go back to the calls for people that are just waking up and turning on their radios or watching us online or listening online around America and the world. Jesse Waters' new primetime show. I'm flipping back and forth between the great Greg Kelly at the incredible Newsmax TV and Jesse Waters. I flip over to Jesse Waters. Pence comes on. He was doing a segment, Jesse Waters, on Kamala's trip to Central America with that new commie president. And then he plays some clips and does the intro. Then he brings Pence on. And I saw Pence, and I was like shocked. And I was right back to Newsmax and the great Kelly, no doubt about that. My question is, did Jesse Waters betray Trump last night by doing this, especially the first week? And I have two clips. One is the introduction to Mike Pence by Jesse Waters, and the other one is the goodbye. And this is a total yucking it up PR piece last night.
Former Vice President Mike Pence joins me now. Good to see you, Mr. Vice President.
Great to see you, Jesse. Congratulations on the new show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. We're very excited. So when you did the handoff with Kamala Harris during the inauguration, I'm sure you gave her some very sweet personal advice. Do you think she's taken your advice? I mean,
Yes, this humanizing of Mike Pence. I mean, this would be like bringing on Michael Avenatti and humanizing and yucking it up about things with Michael Avenatti. So then at the end of the interview, I'm not watching anything in between. I'm not interested. Jesse Waters promotes Mike Pence's presidential campaign.
Mike Pence, who you'll be seeing in your neck of the woods in a Ford driving through. Give him a honk, Mike.
Promise I will. Thanks, Jesse.
Okay, there you have it. So, the question on the table, did Jesse Waters betray our great President Donald Trump? Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Roberto from Orange County.
Orange County. All right, Orange County, California, or Orange County, Florida?
Orange County, California.
All right, what's up?
Yo, hey, check it out, buddy. I think that's cool. I mean, I don't know what's up with all this stuff. You know,
What is in your mouth? I can't understand a damn thing you're saying. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. There you go, people. That's the OC. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Chris. What's up?
I have an idea about the Ford thing. Is they're saying that if you look at the commercials, they're all battery cars. And so he's saying he's going to be driving through with a battery car. And if you're on that side of the line, then you're no longer MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about battery cars, hybrid vehicles, electric vehicles. But what they're talking about, my opinion of this segment was to humanize and resurrect Mike Pence, who is running for president.
An episode of Saturday Night Live, so it's like a parody on it. And then they're saying, well, if he'll be driving a Ford, and all the Ford commercials are talking about being battery. So.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Slow down. It's early in the morning. I have not had all my coffee today. Are you suggesting that Jesse Waters, this was a hostage interview, and that was like a secret message to let us know he didn't really want to do this with Pence?
Oh, yeah. Night Live.
Oh.
If you listen to how he strains his introduction, oh, we're having Pence on, like they do on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, so that was a signal from Jesse Waters that he interviewed Mike Pence under duress.
Yeah, and then they tell him, he's going to be in a Ford, and all the new Ford commercials are talking about being battery operated, so.
Mm-hmm. That's a stretch. I think that's a stretch, but that's okay. Opinions,
Yeah. All right, hey, thanks, Brian.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I don't. He would have to have a signal that was a little more obvious than that. That's beyond subliminal. All right. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Good morning. This is Rich.
Hey, Richie. Tim K. $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, thank Tim K.
Greg Kelly is the best. And after I like Waters. But what he did last night, I think first of all, I knew Pence was coming on the night before because they were promoting that.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, I said, oh my God, this is a terrible move.
I mean, if I had think about this. If you all turned on the Steve Kane Show on Monday morning or this morning, and I was yucking it up with Mike Pence, like we're best of buds and besties and everything else and joking around, I think you would be pissed off at me. I think you'd call me right there while Pence was there.
So I said to myself, well, having him on, that's a terrible decision on the station's behalf and the producer, whoever gets these guests for him. I don't think he has control at this point of who he's going to have on the TV.
But here's the thing. There is a strong possibility that this was not his idea. They tied it into this Kamala trip though. So let's say that it wasn't his idea, which I'm not totally sure about that. Okay? But we don't know, but let's just say it was. He went the extra mile that he didn't have to go, especially that thing at the end. Okay? So that cancels that out.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, he's going to have him on. Maybe he's going to hit him hard in question.
That interview was like, I give an example. Have you seen these pictures of Bridget Fonda? Oh my gosh, they have these, Bridget Fonda, Peter Fonda's daughter. She was, used to be good. They have these. She's 58 years old and weighs about 400 pounds now. They have these pictures. This is the beginning. She's going to come on The View or something, and she's going to have her reputation resurrected at some point. This is a PR stunt. She's getting back into acting. This was a PR move to resurrect Pence, and I don't know where that came from. Pence, humanize him as this likable guy. I got to tell you something. That would, like I said before the break, that would be like having Michael Avenatti in there yucking it up with Jesse Waters, in my opinion.
I thought Mike Pence was an excellent vice president.
Well, I never liked Mike Pence. I used to talk about this a lot, and people would give me a hard time. They say Trump likes him, and I always said this: I don't trust Mike Pence because you never see any emotion out of him. He's too polished, so I don't know what the real guy is like, and that makes me nervous.
I believe President Trump was right that he could have.
Well, I don't want to get sidetracked on that. I want to get into what Jesse did. Did Jesse Waters betray Trump last night?
I believe he did. I believe the station did also, and that's why I said, Greg Kelly, if you want the truth out there, you got to watch him.
Yeah, and Stitchfeld. I watched Stitchfeld after. He is spectacular. I think is it Stitchfeld or Stitchfield? I got to get the guy's name right, but he's very good.
He's good, but he's not as good as the guy in OAN. You're missing something out by not having it.
Yeah, well, I don't have it. All right, take care. Thanks, Richie. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carl in Columbus.
Hey, Carl.
Hey. Yeah, Waters totally, went against Trump on that interview last night. And the reason is because, it's one thing to have Pence on and interview him, but to throw softball questions at him like that, I would have been asking questions like, hey, why'd you...
Yeah, and they brought him in with a joke segment in a way, but also with the credibility of commenting on Kamala Harris. And Richie says they promoted it the night before. Well, I didn't watch the night before, so I didn't catch that. I would if I would have known that was going to happen, I would have been talking about it yesterday. I was in shock when I saw Pence come on the screen. I was really in shock.
Why not ask questions that matter?
No, there's no questions to ask Pence. You don't ask Pence questions. You don't have him on. Pence. Listen, Trump is draining the swamp of these anti-Trump people, these never-Trumpers. I call them rats, Republicans against Trump. And Pence is out with MAGA, all right? This guy, he couldn't get elected dog catcher, okay, by MAGA people. So and he's talking about running for president. So the only way this guy can run for president, and I've seen he's given some speeches somewhere, that's crazy, is the never-Trumpers propping him up, okay? So the only way that he has any type of speaking engagement tour, which I've seen he's been making speeches and other things, is that he's in league with Never-Trumpers. And it doesn't matter. What would you and the listeners think if Steve and I brought Pence on and yucked it up with him like that?
I think that you were selling out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pence.
Well, I can't get sidetracked and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? But this didn't have to happen. And if he was forced to do the interview, I get it. He doesn't own Fox News Channel, but he went the extra mile that he didn't have to do. It's not. It's just because it's, when you work for someone like that, there's, you have to. They're the boss. They run it. You have to do what they do, and there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes at Fox News. I don't know that he had to, but it's a possibility. But obviously it's a possibility. If he was forced to interview Pence, he didn't have to go the extra mile like that.
That doesn't help bring people over from Greg Kelly.
It got me right back. I was flipping back and forth, I must tell you. Okay, but I flipped back and I didn't go back to Fox all night. I fell asleep to Newsmax.
I'm not going to leave Greg Kelly.
Greg Kelly is the best, and I think his show is spectacular. I love Greg Kelly's show. Yeah. All right, take care. Take care. He also has a radio show, Greg Kelly. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with.
Hey guys, if you've not already done it, like the video. Liking the video helps so much. It tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to other people that like this kind of content.
Issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we're going to be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well,
It is okay for us to disagree.
Of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous Erecta. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options
Steve Kane Show.
available at the Biostation West Delray.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
Products yield combinations and
Hold on.
dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source. such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function.
Brent King, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Everyone thank Brent King. Thank you for all you're doing to support President Trump. Well, thank you, Brent King.
Once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 49 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Before we go back to the phone, some people have been commenting. You know, we're running the erection injection commercial with Dr. Mitch Matez, and Steve Kane is most famous for his promotion of the erection injection, which can give a man an erection that lasts up to 4 hours. And a lot of people say that sounds painful. Actually, I've not used the erection injection. I'll ask Steve later about it, but and he can tell you. But Steve Kane will tell you the erection injection is completely painless because the injection is at the base of the penis where there are very few nerves, so there's no pain. That's right. And by the way, you don't have to have an erection for 4 hours. It's an erection up to 4 hours. You can regulate the dosage to have an erection for as long as you require. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. It is open phones on Friday, but we're been asking the question, did Jesse Waters betray President Trump last night by having Pence on? You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice, all right, 3 times a lady. Good morning, you're on the radio.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
I haven't been around the last few days because I've kind of been dealing with a certain virus.
Oh, you had COVID? Oh, wow. How bad were you?
According to what my doctor said, it's been a very mild case.
Great.
The high temperatures and the coughing and this, that, and the other. But other than that, the sleeping is a little bit different because when I've had the flu, I've never slept well anyway. So that
yeah, I'm blushing too. I'm blushing too.
But that's why I haven't been here.
Well, I'm glad. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing well. Sounds like you might have had that Omicron.
Yes, I might have had it. Now, as far as Jesse Waters goes, it had to be Jesse Waters to do this because, Tucker wouldn't have done it, and damn well, that Hannity wouldn't have done it either because, you may think Hannity has a big ego and all that stuff, but one thing he has been is very solid for Trump.
I don't know. Has Pence been on any other Fox News shows? That I don't know. It's the first time I've seen him.
I don't think so. I don't think so, and I really don't believe. For instance,
well, I think I was talking. Greg Kelly, of course, who's my favorite in cable news on Newsmax. Night before last, I was talking about this yesterday on the show. I don't know, you might have been out with your COVID yesterday, but I was talking yesterday. Greg Kelly, night before last, had Bill O'Reilly on. It was a very good segment, too, with Bill O'Reilly. And I thought it was interesting that Bill O'Reilly went on Greg Kelly's program at the same time Jesse Waters is on, who he made famous on his debut week. I thought that was interesting.
That was interesting, but as far as Jesse Waters, like I said, it had to be him because a lot of the other hosts would never have had. I mean, look, think about this. There was a time when Pence was a hot commodity.
Well, those times are long gone.
Times are long gone. I mean, look.
I mean, listen. There was a time when Jerry Falwell Jr. was a sought-after endorsement. President Trump in the first campaign had to go seek out his endorsement. Now we got these stories of, his wife filming herself having sex with the pool boy and the picture of him with the arm around the woman with his pants undone, with his underwear hanging out. He used to be a sought-after endorsement, but Jerry Falwell Jr., if a politician has their arm around Jerry Falwell Jr. these days, people are like, whoa, what's going on? And I would say Pence is in that category.
I don't want to say legitimate, but Pence stopped.
Listen, I'm not telling people to go around and protest Pence. I'm telling you that MAGA does not bring Mike Pence on and do a PR move to and like I said to the other callers, Mike, Fox News very well may have made him do that interview, but he went the extra mile that he did not have to with the yucking it up part of it. He could have done he could have done a more straight if he was forced to do it. And the segment was about this Kamala Harris trip. He could have done a straight interview, not this humanizing interview.
Right, and that's the thing. He could have just stuck to the topic and said, look, whatever questions you ask about Kamala Harris going to this foreign country, whatever, you ask those questions and have him comment and all that stuff.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. You don't go a step further.
No, you don't.
I was many years ago at another radio station. I had to make an on-air apology. I had to record an on-air apology to someone that played on the radio station once an hour for 24 hours. I was this was hilarious. Let me tell you what happened. I was doing a show. I was on the air with this girl, and this was in the early 90s, mid 90s, during the grunge era. Kurt Cobain was still alive. And she was dressed like in grunge clothes. I used to dress that way too, but she was dressed in grunge clothes, and she had on a buttoned-up flannel shirt. And I told her, I said, I just said it jokingly in passing that you dress like a lesbian. Oh my goodness, she got so offended. I mean, she went to management, she went to the program director, and did all this complaining. And I was kind of new at the time at the radio station. I didn't have a lot of juice. So, and the program director said, she's raising a lot of hell. Her father called the radio station manager and all this stuff. This was like in '94. And he says, I need you to record an on-air apology. So he said, go record an on-air apology, and we're going to put it on the log. It's going to air once an hour for 24 hours. I said, okay. He didn't give me a script. I went in and did it. And I remember this, including the girl's name, but I'm not going to say her name because this was a long time ago, and I don't want to, I'm sure she, gets the, I don't want to bring it up again to her. But so I recorded this apology, and here's how it went. This is Brian Craig. On Saturday, I asked, and then I said her name, why she dresses like a lesbian. I did not mean to imply or infer that, I said her name again, is a lesbian. Then I said her name again, like say it was, Jane. Jane is not a lesbian. And I didn't mean to imply that Jane was a lesbian because Jane is not a lesbian. That was it. And that played at the top of the hour for 24 hours on the radio station. So I did an on-air apology, but it was a backhanded apology. And by the time it was done, everybody thought she was a lesbian. And the station management didn't seem to care either because they were pretty pissed off that she was raising so much Cain about it. So I was told to do something. I did it literally what I was told to do, but I think it was very clear that it was an apology under duress. You understand what I'm saying? And so if I was required to interview Pence, it wouldn't have been that.
Yeah, it would not have been that, and it would have. Look, like you said, you went the extra mile. Oh, are you gonna be driving a Ford? Anytime soon down the streets of Indiana, whatever it is, Are you going to be driving a Ford? That's there is no other choice for the Republican side but Trump right now. If Trump wasn't going to run, which he is, but let's just say for the sake of this argument that he wasn't going to run.
It doesn't matter if he's running or not. He did this sucky thing. Hey, Mike in Louisiana, I'm glad you beat the COVID. That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, okay, take care, man. Thanks for the call. I'm glad to hear that he is doing well. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm going to bring up some other topics after the top of the hour break, but you are certainly welcome to call in about the question I've had on the table this hour. Did Jesse Waters betray Trump last night by having Mike Pence on? All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire and Market.
I find it hard to believe that's Bridget Fonda. I mentioned this yesterday. That I looked at that picture. My wife looked at it. I was looking at it too. Again today. I cannot believe that's Bridget Fonda. I know that was hilarious. That on-air apology I had to do. That was, you know. Yes, I'm a graduate of Trump University.
Online, friendlytire.net. Mike Lindell and My Pillow.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Macho Dub, Jane his wife. That's right.
$1 million in revenue this year already. Boycotts are being pushed by the left. Stand with Mike Lindell. Support My Pillow and the thousands and thousands who work with Mike Lindell. Visit mypillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for incredible savings. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Support Mike Lindell and My Pillow.
Oh, Jane his wife? I don't know, Macho, is that a Jetsons reference or Rocky Horror Picture Show? Australia. Hey, Australia. I have some commercials with my voice running on the radio in Australia that I've done for some different businesses. I've got a commercial for a mobile pet groomer that's running on the radio in Australia, a couple restaurants. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 has begun. Before I get into the next major topic, I just want to talk, because we were talking off the air during the break about this photograph that they say is Bridget Fonda. I saw this yesterday morning. I did not tweet it yesterday. I'm not sure if I did today or not. Bridget Fonda, she was in Single White Female. She was in Point of No Return, I think is her most famous role. She's the niece of Hanoi Jane Fonda and the daughter of the late Peter Fonda. And they have this photograph they say is Bridget Fonda. And I got to tell you, I cannot believe that is Bridget Fonda. When I saw this yesterday morning, I looked at that picture. very hard. I put this picture of Bridget. She's, gained a lot of weight. She's 58 now, they say. I believe she's 58. But I put the picture that they're saying is Bridget Fonda on my computer screen up next to some other pictures of her. I cannot find any resemblance between this lady and Bridget Fonda. And I'll let you guys let me know, is that Bridget Fonda in this new photograph? Yeah, she was in Jackie Brown, but her big movie, I think, was Point of No Return, the remake of the French film La Femme Nikita. I just don't believe that's Bridget Fonda. I can't believe it. There's a lot of actresses you don't see for many years, and they're overweight. Somebody in the break mentioned Kathleen Turner, but you can see that it's still Kathleen Turner in the face. Another one is Lauren Tweez from The Love Boat. She's gained a lot of weight, but you can still see it's Lauren Tweez in the face. I see zero resemblance between Bridget Fonda and this lady they're claiming is Bridget Fonda. Not that that's an important thing, but in the scheme of things going on in America today, it's just, I don't know. It just seems hard to believe that that's Bridget Fonda. All right, our number 1-888-GO, Kane 1. I'll take a call or two before I bring up a new topic, just to finish off the last hour. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I disagree with you on the precept that he was being a traitor or...
Jesse Waters.
Jesse Waters, yes. And this is my reasoning, okay? First and foremost, he has reached more college students and young people with conservatism than most anybody in the country. And I'm not going to throw this young man under the bus. I believe Fox, if they forced him to interview him, they would have forced the questions he was going to ask.
Well, now if you notice, okay, I'm not throwing Jesse Waters under the bus either. If you noticed, I didn't say Jesse Waters betrayed Trump. I said, did Jesse Waters betray Trump? This is something that I'm in, and I'm not trying to be. I'm not a both sides of the fence guy trying to stay in the middle. Okay, I am upset and I'm confused and shocked, and I am processing it. I was going to do this on my podcast over the weekend because I wanted more time to let it soak in, as opposed to doing it on the radio this morning, but I couldn't wait, so I did it. Did he betray Trump by having Pence on and yucking it up that way? You say no.
Well, if he was forced to interview him, he could have been forced to ask softball questions. But why didn't Jesse do something to show us that, hey, he was against this? And I think his opening dialogue was very sarcastic. I don't believe he was fluffing it up. The end one I kind of questioned, but the first one, he was almost mocking it, I felt.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I got one more question, Brian. Would Jesse, if he's being forced to interview or do his show Fox way, which is not for Trump, and he continued that would probably trip me up.
Well, a lot of times, okay, there are things that people do to let people know they're under duress. Like prisoners of war will say hello to their dead relatives. Okay? So, things like that. So, I watched the beginning of the interview and I got the hell out of there. And I did not watch the in-between. I was so disgusted by it. So I just have the beginning and the end that I pulled off for the audio sound bites to play for you guys. If Jesse Waters did something in the course of that interview to send a secret signal that he was under duress, I would, I'd like to hear it because, I don't want to think this way of, and we know that the liberal sons are running the Fox News. We know this. You got Paul Ryan on the board of directors. So we understand this. And there are people on Fox that are doing all kinds of things that they probably don't want to do. Because of these never-Trumpers that are running the joint. But this was too much in his first week. I think it was very damaging. Almost in a way, it was, if in a way, it's almost like Jesse Waters was sabotaged by somebody if he was forced to do this.
And Wayne the Scene in the chat room made a good point. You know, I'm not against Jesse, but my antenna's up now, and I'm watching and listening what he's going to say.
All right, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Okay, so we got him on the watch list.
Yes.
Okay, take care. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you. I've been listening to your show. I like it a lot. And I also happen to have watched the show, Jesse Walters' show last night. I'm even actually talking from Africa now. So
You're calling me from Africa? Where in Africa are you?
Well, actually, I'm not in Ghana. I'm in Ghana.
You're in Ghana. Does it rain down in Africa?
You are here, yeah. So I'm watching it.
Okay. Yeah, Toto used to talk about that. Yeah.
Listen to you, I'm MAGA. I follow you all the time, and I take things you say. But I am thinking that for now, perhaps, maybe they are trying to look at numbers. I mean, we don't want to discard everybody. Sometimes we can forgive and all that. I was also a bit surprised to see the former vice president online. But I still thought that, well, let's see what he has to say. There wasn't anything particularly serious that was said. I don't know the reason why he was on the show, but it's like, and then he asked him that pertinent question about President Trump, and he couldn't give, the man couldn't give any good answer. But, the personality of the man, what do you call it, Waters, is always like, this easygoing guy, and he kept that same thing. Even when he's asking very tough questions, he's smiling and making it all look good.
Now you're calling me from Ghana in Africa. That's interesting. What's someone you watching me on YouTube? Yeah.
I am an American citizen, so
isn't in Ghana now because Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General of UN, was from Ghana, and I remember at the time, and this may not be true today. This may have changed, but isn't, at least it was, homosexuality illegal in Ghana?
Yeah, I mean, it's illegal here.
Being gay is illegal in Ghana. Wow.
Yeah, they tried to bring it up to try to, tamper the laws a little bit, but the people stood up vehemently against it. So
what do you do for work in Ghana?
I do many things. I build houses and all that.
We used to have a guy on the Steve Kane Show years ago. His name was Ronald X. He was from the Nation of Islam, black man, and his dream was to go to Africa. He always wanted to move to Africa. And he did. He moved to Africa, and he moved to West Africa. I can't remember it wasn't Ghana, but I can't remember which country he was. And he went over there, he sold everything he had, and he bought a chicken farm. That's a true story. He bought a chicken farm, and he had his dream of moving to Africa. And then Steve got a call in the middle of the night. He was trying to borrow money from Steve. He claimed Steve owed him money for all the radio appearances he did, but he wanted Steve to give him money so he could buy a ticket to come back to America. He wanted to get out of Africa, and he said that because he's an American and was not African, he said nobody would buy his chickens or his eggs because it was very tribal, and people would only do business with members of their tribe, and he had no tribe since he was an American, and he was broke. And it was a very difficult life. Steve didn't send him the money for the airfare, so I don't know if he ever made it back or not.
Well, I don't know where in Africa this might have happened, but I mean, I would reckon that maybe those places are not as open as I know them to.
You're a U.S. citizen? You're a U.S. citizen? What's a U.S. citizen doing in Africa? I'm just curious. I'm just interested. I'm not trying to give you grief. I'm just interested.
I happen to have come from Ghana, so every now and then I visit this place.
Oh, I see.
I am, yeah. So
where in America do you live?
Well, in Virginia.
Virginia, yeah. A lot of Black Americans often talk about wanting to relocate to Africa. Would you recommend that, or is it better to be black in America or black in Africa?
Well, if you're black in Africa, it's really nice, actually.
Really? It's better to be black in Africa than in America?
Well, I think so. I mean...
Really? If it's what do you mean? You said it's really nice to be black in Africa. What does that mean?
I mean, there's no problem. You know, I don't really like too much about talking about racial situations. I mean...
I understand. I understand.
I like human beings for who they are.
Okay.
Many people are similar like that.
Yeah.
Ghana, I don't think people choose and to deal with people because of the color of their skin. I mean,
well, you know, listen, my ancestors obviously are from Europe, you know, but I have no desire to go to Europe. I would never live in Europe. You know, I've never even been to Europe, but so I don't know. I think life in America is better for everyone than anywhere else in the world, would be my guess.
Yeah, of course. Life in America is not bad at all. I'm talking to you. I watch your show all the time. I appreciate you for who you are, the honesty with which you speak, the passion with which you speak. I like it. I appreciate it, and I look at you for the person you are. I mean,
well, I appreciate. Hey, listen, thanks for the call from Ghana, and take care. Have a great day. Oh man. Pretty good. I remember when I was a kid, if you got a call from Ghana, that would be like, you know how much money that used to cost? Now with internet calls, it doesn't probably cost anything. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, from Ghana to Tamarack.
No, I'm not Tamarack. You always say that. I'm in Coral Springs.
Oh, from Coral Springs. Okay. From Ghana to Coral Springs. Coral Springs is better than Tamarack because that's where Wings Plus is located on Sample Road.
Correct. You know, now, I switched around like you do, and I saw Jesse. I said, what the hell is Pence doing on there? And I listened to it, and what is this? He's the healer now. He wants everybody to forgive Pence. I mean, I was like, I'm hoping Trump will mention something about it.
Well, you know, I'm a forgiving guy, and I'm a nice guy, and I get along with everyone, okay? But, with that being said, when someone betrays me, that's it. That's it. I mean, Steve and I used to have a friend, and he had a list on his wall, and that was his revenge list, and this was in his office on his wall. He had a list. It was an actual list with names on it of people that had screwed him over that he was going to get revenge with before he died. I don't even know if the guy's still alive. We've lost touch with him, and I don't know if he got through the list or not. I don't go actively, getting revenge on people that screw me over. I would do nothing other than get revenge if I, have been screwed over by many a person. But I don't associate with there's a term I use that I did not originate. There are certain people that I consider to be poison people. And a poison person is somebody that brings nothing but terrible things into my orbit, and I don't associate with poison people, and I would put Pence in that category right now. If I brought Pence on this program and yucked it up like Jesse Kelly, I think you guys in the listening audience would be very pissed off at us.
I'd be send you a text for sure. That would be longer than the one I said before. Anyway, one other thing. The Marjorie Taylor Greene was on Ball Show yesterday.
One America News? Yeah. Well, I don't want to get sidetracked on that. I know it's open phones, but that's too far out of the realm. Let me take one more call, then we'll break. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Let me ask you a question. What is your issue with Penn?
Well, you already asked a question. Your question was, let me ask you a question. If you don't know, you're not informed enough to be a part of the conversation. Matt, he is on the Never Trumper list. That's it. And if you have Pence on for an interview, you don't Do what Jesse did. Yuck it up with him. What? Yes. Sure. Sure. He's a true conservative. Oh, really? Like you? Are you a true conservative? Really? No. Why? I got to run for a break. He's trying to turn it into the Greg Show. He wants me to interview him. Ask me any question. Why do I have you on the air? It's time for a break. You know, anytime I'm supposed to go to a break and I don't go to the break to take one more call, that call is always... Now, Greg, too, has good calls. This was not one of them. But anytime I take that call that I'm not supposed to take, let me take one last call. I'm late for the break, but I'll take one more call. That call always sucks every time. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977.
Julian P., $5 super chat. Thank you.
I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Everyone thank Julian P. for the $5 super chat. It doesn't matter what show Pence is on. As far as a candidate, he is toast with most of the party. In Ohio, anyway. Never liked him. Yes, Julian. I never liked him either.
One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined ones.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy, and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper.
Scott, $20 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Scott for that $20 super chat.
I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular.
Let me ask you this in the chat room.
I'm here to tell you that the erection
Who do you trust more? Vice President Mike Pence or Vice President Kamala Harris? Who do you trust more? Pence or Harris? Let me know in the chat. Who do you trust more? Pence or Harris? There's no third choice. Jacqueline, $100 super chat. Oh my goodness. Everyone, please thank Jacqueline. America will make a comeback. You can count on it. America is the greatest country on the planet. Our military is first class. The soldiers are awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline. And you're right about that, Jacqueline. Everyone, please thank Jacqueline. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, 22 minutes after the hour. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, celebrating 45 years on the Florida radio airwaves this year. That's right, on the air since 1977, when Star Wars was in theaters for its original theatrical release. I was not a part of the show then. I was 6 years old in a movie theater watching Star Wars somewhere. But welcome back. Okay, so the coven of The View, it's a coven. The View, they're very upset. You know, got a Supreme Court pick. Let me play this exchange. They're talking about Clarence Thomas. They're talking about others. Listen to this. This is the ladies of The View yesterday talking about the Supreme Court vacancy. Oh, did you guys catch Justice Breyer with Biden yesterday? Two things about that. One, Breyer is, I know we've been saying that the White House and the Democrats pushed Stephen Breyer to retire. I no longer believe that. I think it was the other members of the Supreme Court. I think it was a party line vote. Let's push this guy out. He is the pontificating windbag. He's weird. He's weird. He's in love with himself, and he's a psycho. Did you see Stephen Breyer yesterday? I don't think I've ever heard Stephen Breyer speak. I vaguely remember him getting nominated, and I haven't, because they don't have cameras in the court. He is a strange cat. What a weirdo. And he, I guess he speaks to law schools all the time, and he went into this stump speech that he gives to all the law students, and Breyer, who's a complete weirdo, I mean, he's just a freak. That's probably why he and Biden get along so well. Two freaks. But Breyer, he does other than being weird, a pontificating windbag who's a man of a few thousand words, he's a smile talker. When he says something, he smiles and he pauses. And the pauses are so that you can soak in and ponder all the brilliance that came out of Justice Psychopath Breyer's mouth. I mean, my goodness. Can you imagine those other justices have had to put up with this guy for 30 years? Oh my goodness, what a weirdo. Am I the only one who thought that when I heard him speak? It's such a weird thing because we all know who Stephen Breyer is. We've heard about him forever. But I imagine most of you are like me. We've never really heard the guy talk before. And I was like, what a nut. And then this other thing that was very weird was Biden. Now, I didn't catch this because I didn't see this live. I saw it last night on Greg Kelly's show on Newsmax after I fled the Pence interview with Jesse Waters. So Biden comes up to the podium after Stephen Breyer's 89-minute pontification. Seemed like 89 minutes. And Breyer's wearing a mask, right? He was back by the door, social distancing. Breyer's wearing a mask. And then Biden took an old, used, dirty mask that was on somebody else's face that they had breathed into. Pence picked it up. I'm getting like Biden. Biden picked up this used mask and handed it to Stephen Breyer. Breyer's wearing a mask. Breyer took the mask from Biden and then put it in his pocket. It was very weird. The whole thing was, did you guys see that? And what the hell? But he's a strange dude. So anyway, the ladies of The View spoke out on the Supreme Court vacancy yesterday.
That somebody like Amy Coney Barrett was put in there because she's a white woman.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now, first off, Amy Coney Barrett, who probably gave President Trump COVID. I've heard many people speculate that she gave President Trump COVID. You could make the case that she was picked because she's a woman. I'd like to hear her make that case. I don't remember that being part of the selection process with President Trump.
You could make the case that somebody like Amy Coney Barrett was put in there because she's a white woman who they say, well, she'll go against abortion rights.
No, she'll go against abortion rights. Now, okay. What is the average age of one of the ladies currently on The View? I mean, they're old ladies, right? Now, and I'm not attacking older women, but I'm going to attack these ladies, okay? They're old ladies. Old liberal ladies obsessing over abortion, right? What the feminist would tell you back in the days of the abortion arguments, that's not really a public debate anymore like it used to be. It comes back from time to time. But what they used to say, people like Joy Reid, is men should never even voice an opinion on abortion because men will never be pregnant. Well, I think every single woman currently on The View, except maybe Sunny, is beyond the childbearing years. I think they have all gone through menopause. There may even be a couple of hysterectomies up there on that panel. So, and certainly Joy Reid. Joy Reid has as much chance of becoming pregnant as I do, okay? And if you can't be pregnant, why is she voicing an opinion on abortion rights? Anyway, let's get back to this.
You know, you could make the case that somebody like Amy Coney Barrett was put in there because she's a white woman who they say, well, she'll go against abortion rights, and she's a woman. So that was deliberate, I think.
No, President Trump had a very long list of Supreme Court nominees. He picked 2 men and a woman, and what he was looking for was not genitalia or skin color. He was looking for strict constitutionalists, as opposed to someone who legislates from the bench. And the difference between a conservative and a liberal judge, you have a liberal constitutionalist and you have a liberal judge who legislates from the bench. A conservative constitutionalist judge will give an opinion in court regardless of what their opinion is on it. For example, Scalia, who's considered one of the most awful conservatives by the left, I think he was a great man who died under some very mysterious and questionable circumstances. But Scalia, on more than one occasion, sided with pornographers. Remember this? It was Scalia who said, the First Amendment is not to protect popular speech. You don't need a constitutional guarantee for that. It's to protect unpopular speech, right? Remember these things? That's a strict constitutionalist. Something he disagrees with, pornography, but he stands up for people's First Amendment rights. What liberals do, they legislate from the bench. They give a legal opinion based on how they think things should be. That's why you always hear Democrats talk about the Constitution's a living, breathing document that grows with the times. No, it is not a living, breathing document. That is a lie.
Thomas, a black...
Oh, let me go.
Well, she'll go against abortion rights, and she's a woman. So that was deliberate, I think. Clarence Thomas, a black guy, a black man, a justice, okay, I'll give it to him. He's a smart guy. But he is to the right of Attila the Hun, this guy, and they put him in there thinking, oh, a black man will go against voting rights, which is what...
Oh, my goodness. That's what they said, a black man will go against voting rights? That was not even an issue when he was nominated by Bush 41.
Which is what he does. And
it was a terrible...
And it's a very tricky business they're pulling over there when you think about it. Not to mention the fact that Mitch McConnell has no concept of the law when it comes to the Supreme Court.
They know the law. They're not following it. They don't want to follow it.
No, and he's allowed to not follow it.
It's terribly disrespectful to appoint someone like Clarence Thomas with his philosophies to the seat of Thurgood Marshall, a civil rights.
I know.
Okay, now Thurgood Marshall was the first black person on the Supreme Court, and when he passed away, Clarence Thomas replaced him. And I may be wrong about this, but I remember, this just popped in my mind, Thurgood Marshall, was he not the attorney in the Brown versus Board of Education case? I think he was, if memory serves. But anyway... but hey, memory may not be serving, but I think it is. Clarence Thomas, okay, was picked. I like Clarence Thomas, by the way. I think Clarence Thomas is awesome. A lot of respect for Clarence Thomas. You know what kind of crap that guy goes up to? And I'll tell you, I've seen Clarence Thomas on TV many a time speaking, and he's not a lunatic like this Democrat Stephen Breyer, who's insane, okay? But Clarence Thomas was, in fact, picked because he was black. When Thurgood Marshall passed away and there was a vacancy, there was immediate pressure put on Bush 41, and he was very vocal about it, that he was going to pick someone who was black to replace Thurgood Marshall. And he did. And he made a good pick. Please don't misunderstand me. But, yeah, Bush 41 did do that. And by the way, how is it disrespectful on The View? They're saying it was disrespectful because of his views to have Clarence Thomas replace Thurgood Marshall. When was the Brown versus Board of Education? 1950 what? Let me look up the year. It's been a long time since we talked about Brown versus Board of Education. Let's see here. It was in the 50s. Let me see. 54. I've not thought about this before. Thurgood Marshall, he was the attorney that argued Brown versus Board of Education in front of the Supreme Court. I'm pretty sure of that. If he wasn't, let me know, because he had another high-profile case. But I think it was Brown. I think it was the Brown case. But anyway, 1954, blacks in this country were Republicans, not Democrats. The Democrats were the segregationists. In fact, I would say, because Sonny, whatever her name is, on this Coven of the View said it was disrespectful to replace Thurgood Marshall with Clarence Thomas. I betcha Thurgood Marshall, when he argued the Brown case, was a Republican. Betcha. There were not black Democrats in the 50s. In fact, Martin Luther King was a Republican in the 50s. And he switched because of something I don't have time to tell you about because it's time for a break. I'm late for a break. So let me just finish up with the Coven of the View here.
Someone like Clarence Thomas with his philosophies to the seat of Thurgood Marshall, a civil rights.
I know.
Yes. And also with his wife's activities involving the insurrection.
Yeah. Let's not even get into that because that's really the whole show. And all we have to do is start talking about her, and we'll be.
Her. Oh, they don't like. You know what they don't like. You know what they don't like about Clarence Thomas? They don't like his wife. They really hate his wife because she is Caucasian. Let me tell you, the Democrats do not like the fact that Clarence Thomas is involved in an interracial relationship. What a bad person Bush was to, how disrespectful to appoint someone to replace Thurgood Marshall who's in an interracial marriage. Now, before we break, one of our listeners commented on this online. They said, you know who they said? This was a real outside-the-box thinker. We have very smart people in the Steve Kane listening audience. They had a suggestion for who Joe Biden should nominate to the Supreme Court of the United States. A college professor and attorney, Anita Hill. Could you imagine? That would be some outside. Could you imagine if Biden nominated Anita Hill for the Supreme Court? Oh my goodness. That would be so exciting. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be exciting. All right, let's take a break. 36 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Back right after this. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stacy from Deerfield Beach. This is in reference to Champaign Automotive. I went over there. They're wonderful. I have a Kia Optima Echo Hybrid. When I called, it needed service. I didn't want to bring it to the dealership because they would charge me through the roof. And basically, when I did call, they said bring it in the next day. He's amazing. He did everything. He didn't overcharge me. He went through my car, and I would recommend anybody to go to him. He's absolutely amazing.
Well, you know, Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca, they do great work, and I want to thank you for calling. And I learned something about Champaign Automotive Repair from you in this call. I did not know that they actually did repairs on hybrid vehicles.
What had happened was when I brought it to the dealership, they were like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. And when I heard about Champaign Automotive, I called when I got there, and I said, he goes, well, I already ordered the oil filter.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And so I dropped it off. I don't have many people to take me back home. And so he ordered Uber for me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's service. Thank you for the call as well. And anyone else out there, you know, Champaign Automotive Repair, their prices are great. They'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Their number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And what's your name, caller?
My name is Stacy, and thank you very much, Champaign Automotive. And thank you very much, Brian and Steve.
For Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. You know, we're so dependent upon our electronic devices. You know, the way that I do my show prep is I read articles throughout the day and I tweet them. And my stack of, you remember Rush used to talk about the stack of stuff? My stack of stuff is my Twitter feed. And so I can't remember everything that I, so I go through my Twitter feed when I'm on the air in the morning on my iPad. That's my stack of stuff. And Twitter, is down. Tweets aren't loading right now. And I can't get to my stack of stuff. Well, I got a good memory. I can remember a lot of it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Twitter's not going to stop this show. The show must go on. All right, you're listening to The Steve Kane Show, by the way, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. This is going to be a short segment because I took the last break late, so I want to apologize for that in advance. But bear with me, and when I take the next break on time, we'll be on time throughout the rest of the show. So, you know, this Peter Schweitzer story, because he's got his new book out about Biden and the $31 million from China, is beyond him. I mean, Peter Schweitzer has the top people in both parties, not the Trump family, of course. The top Republican he's named is Mitch McConnell, but the top Democrats, Pelosi, Biden, and others, and Mitch McConnell, taking big money from China. And these stories are just frightening to me. He's got a new one on Pelosi. Pelosi was opposed to the United States in the Olympics over there back in the 90s. And then her husband got a deal with some limousine company in China, and then all of a sudden she dropped opposition and became an advocate for it. You know, Dianne Feinstein, but you're hearing these stories, and they're terrible stories. And it's really amazing how corrupt this government of the United States is. And, you know, you see Peter Schweitzer on everybody's doing this on all the cable news networks, Newsmax, Fox, they're all doing it. And they're having Peter Schweitzer on. Peter Schweitzer is brilliant. And this is what I don't get. Why is it that there's no accountability for this? You know, you see what President Trump is going through. They're going after President Trump over the price of the chairs at the inauguration. I didn't make that up. That's true. They were going after Ivanka for something, you know, for some party things like the chairs. Why is it that these people have sold out our entire country, really have taken bribes? It's bribe money. And there's no accountability. And the sad reality is, you know, when I watch the great Peter Schweitzer go through detail the crimes by Pelosi, Feinstein, Swalwell, Biden, all of it, we all know how that story ends. Nothing will become of it. No one will be held accountable. Now, just because no one will be held accountable doesn't mean it shouldn't be exposed and talked about it. So the question is, why is that? Why are none of them held accountable? Well, I think it's a number of reasons, but mainly I think it's because the media, the news is not in the business of reporting or covering news. The news are in the business of covering up news. And if the news, so they got Schweitzer on and they talk about it, but I remember the days when reporters would chase down members of Congress who were involved in scandal, walking to their cars and go up to them and ask questions. They don't do that anymore. And the main reason that none of these corrupt public officials, the top people in our government today who have been bribed by China, are not held accountable is because the media doesn't make it an issue. That's just the reality of it. That's the main reason, the media. But it is scary knowing that our top government officials, Biden on down, that's currently running the government, have all been bribed. I was watching Peter Schweitzer on Newsmax last night. It was on Stitchfield, and he said, Biden's compromised. I don't think Biden's compromised. I think he's a willing participant in all of this. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Jim in Cincinnati.
Hey.
I want to say a couple things. Two points you brought up. One is Penn. Thank you. I felt really weird last night seeing him on television. Okay, and I just felt judgmental and horrible because I really hate the man.
Well, the question is, okay, so the question is, did Jesse Waters betray Trump by yucking it up with Pence last night?
Absolutely. And secondly, I had a question I needed your opinion on something I was thinking on with the Russia thing. Is it possible at all that Donald Trump, not colluded, but talked to Vladimir Putin and says, hey, I know you don't like Biden. I know you don't like the January 6th situation going on, and I know you know what's going on. Is it possible he's pushed, he and Vlad said, let's make it happen. Let's bring the truth out. I'll just put people over there. We won't go in.
No, because you're asking, is Trump colluding with Putin in this incident in Ukraine? What are you asking?
Not asking about collusion. What I'm saying is it possible, because I believe Putin, Trump, they both know what's right for the world. They've shown it. Putin's not a good guy. And I'm not saying...
No, I'm unclear on the question, but I got the gist. No, President Trump is not colluding with Vladimir Putin. That would be like treason. I don't understand what you're asking.
Is it possible if Vladimir Putin wants to expose Biden's idiocy and thought that this was a good way to do it because it will bring the truth out? It's got nothing to do with Trump. I just believe that...
Now, what's going on with Putin is America has never been weaker. Not since the Second World War, because we have corrupt, incompetent leadership. So I think what Putin is doing is just taking advantage of a situation while he has the opportunity.
Shows Russia absolutely depends on America's money. He does not want to see America fail, and he is a leader. Biden's not, Trump was. That's where I'm getting the
Mm-hmm.
A leader in his own right.
Okay, hey, listen, I got to run for a break, but hey, thanks for the call. I really don't understand what he's saying. I really don't. If I did, I'd tell you. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back after this break.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
I love my MyPillow towels. Unlike other towels, the MyPillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty.
Steve Kane Show.
Money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually
Steve
work.
Kane Show.
What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from
Steve Kane
Pennsylvania
Show.
called live on the radio and shared her experience with her MyPillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the My towels a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they're a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his invention. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them. They don't absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it around on your body. Now with the MyPillow towels, what color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
I'm going to order because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife's ordering the purple too, and she says it doesn't match our bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple.
Who cares?
Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
And remember, whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. The Sean Hannity specials, Mitch McConnell specials, War Room specials, TV specials, newspaper specials. If you see a special you are interested in at MyPillow, you can take advantage of that deal with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Mike Lindell himself did that for us as a sign of appreciation to you and the Steve Kane listening audience for your support of him. All right, so promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Steve from Boca, Brian.
Hey, Steve. Doing all right. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I have a couple of very, I think, good points I'd like to make, and I'll be very brief. First, the Chinese government has infiltrated so much of our country. The politicians are paid off tremendously. Universities are paid off tremendously. School systems now with public schools, indirectly, I'm sure, are being paid off to promote all this stupidity. That's number one. Number two, the Dems play offense. The Republicans are always on their heels playing defense. And number three, every politician in this country should have to swear and put their hand on the Bible and say before they're elected that they, under the threat of perjury, will never accept and have never accepted money from any foreign government or any their friends, their families. And under the threat of perjury, they should have to put their hand on the Bible before they're elected. And finally, if Trump is ever elected, the Attorney General has got to be Rudy Giuliani. And you got to let him run wild and investigate everyone.
Well, you know, let me tell you, Trump's second term will be, oh boy, be well. But this thing about money, see, when you're dealing with the corrupt people in government, and they're all corrupt. I mean, you know, this Peter Schweitzer points it out all the time. They are criminally insane. They are complete sociopaths, okay? And if you put them on a lie detector, they would pass it about this money because they convince themselves of things. They don't take the money. Their family members do, whether it's Pelosi's husband or Joe's son. And, you know, the thing with Joe, I haven't heard Peter Schweitzer talk about this, but this is something I picked up from Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell. What happened with Biden, and Laptop from Hell is, you got to get the book. I recommend the audiobook. It's dramatic. It scares the hell out of you. I mean, I was listening to it driving up to Orlando, and I pulled off the road at a rest stop, and I had to like cool off. It was so crazy. What happened is Biden thought he was grooming his son, Beau, to become the senator from Delaware. And he sadly passed away, so they lost that. And he was going to continue the family corruption. And Joe's got a lot of family members. You know, his brother was getting $80,000 a month from the Biden money that Hunter is the mule for. They pissed through all the money, and he ran for president to make more money from China. That's what's going on here. But they don't believe they've done anything wrong. They don't know another way. They're criminally insane. They think Trump's the crook. That's how sick they are.
Trump wins in his first term. We all know how wonderful Donald Trump is. The only mistake he made in the first term is that he got input from people that were from the swamp. The second term.
Well, things went. There were two things that happened. Oh man, my mind just went blank. I'm having a Biden moment. Who was Trump's first attorney general from the Senate? Sessions. Okay, Jeff Sessions was a plant. Jeff Sessions was during the first campaign was the first Republican senator to endorse President Trump publicly, and he was on the campaign trail. That was a setup, because remember, he's the one that set up the Mueller investigation. You know, there were other setups too, but Trump is wise to them now.
Yes, what he's got to do, if he's successful, and I don't know if they're going to let him get on, if they're going to let him get on all the ballots in all the states. I just think that with our country is so far left that they're going to
keep him off. They're going to say this is the plan. I've talked about this in the past, but not for a while, and I think it bears repeating since you referenced it. They're going to use the January 6th Kangaroo Committee. They're going to use the January 6th committee to get some federal judge that was appointed by Biden or Obama, Clinton, and I'm sure there's some Carter judges still around. I wouldn't be surprised, to bring some type of criminal indictment or charge against President Trump in regards to something. Then, to January 6th. Then, when the primaries come up, they're going to say Donald Trump cannot be on the ballot because there's a pending charge against him for participating in the insurrection. And they're going to use that law that was passed after the Civil War, so Jefferson Davis didn't get elected president of the United States, and General Lee. So, and they are going to keep him off of ballots, at least attempt to, in the primaries. And the Democrats did this to Lincoln. Lincoln was not on the ballots in the South when he ran in 1860. And they're going to try to do the same thing to Donald Trump. That is what the January 6th committee is all about.
I think you're very smart to say that, because they're going to do that or something else to keep him off. But if he ever gets
Steve
on
Kane Show.
And he ever wins, he's got to put somebody not somebody like.
Yeah, hold on. You're not on yet. Hold on.
Giuliani as his attorney general.
Yeah, well, I love, hey, listen, he's a war hero of 9/11. He's the Audie Murphy of the war on terror, and he was the only member of government that wasn't hiding, and he went to the front lines at Ground Zero and did what they've done to Giuliani is a national disgrace. You don't do what they did to Giuliani to Sergeant York. Hey, listen, I got to run, but thanks for the call. It's time to check in with Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor and co-owner of AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace with the Morning Health Report. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, it's Friday, and I was going to try to sing this, but I thought, no, better not, Janet. Just everybody button up your overcoats, because we're in for a very, very interesting weather this weekend. And so when the weather changes, you really have to support your immune system. So very important, make sure that you're taking your vitamin D. You might have those little zinc cough lozenges. when you're taking zinc and you're letting it dissolve as a lozenge in your mouth, that zinc is literally bathing the tissues of the back of your mouth and your throat in zinc, and that zinc just has the capacity to wipe out all of the Friday report. Okay. On Saturday, we are having Lotus come to AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. What does she do? She does fairy hair. Okay, so lots of fun for Saturday. Ladies, come and see the sparkly strands that Lotus can put into your hair. Now, I've seen those gold strands, but I'm hoping that when I see Lotus, maybe she has silver, and what I really want are little red strands. So we'll see what happens. And ladies and gentlemen, come on into AJ's and you can see what color I get on Saturday with Lotus. And then on Sunday, we have the medical intuitives back again. So if you need to understand where your symptoms might be coming from, that you can't figure out why you have different pain, different inflammation, digestive issues, why those symptoms are popping up for you, come on in and talk to our medical intuitive. That will be on Sunday, and you can find out the focus, where you need to focus your nutrition efforts so that you understand the resolution. You can move forward to a resolution to your symptoms. Both Lotus for the hair and Jeff for the medical intuitive, come make an appointment, 954-317-1851. So Saturday's going to be the fun day at AJ's Natural.
Yeah, and now AJ's Natural, one of our listeners up in Jacksonville, Florida, was asking me yesterday, do they ship to Jacksonville? AJ's Natural Wellness Shop ships to Jacksonville and everywhere else. So you can call and order by phone. And just let me tell you just a little bit about AJ's. And I'm going to, this is really, it's an amazing store. Janet Cimarelli, who is the most well-known name in the vitamin nutraceutical industry in South Florida. That's a fact. And her partner, Anita, they bring so much to the table. Janet has been over the years, you've heard, with different vitamin stores here and there. And Anita, behind the scenes, comes from as a representative from the nutraceutical companies themselves, but has also opened up vitamin stores throughout the South Florida area. And the two of them together have taken everything they've learned over the years and have the perfect vitamin shop at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, where they have everything you need. They have great prices. Anita has such great contacts with the manufacturers of the supplements. That means they get the best deals, and they pass those savings on to you. And Janet Cimarelli, who introduced me and Steve Kane to vitamins, to nutraceuticals, back in 1998. It's been that long, Janet. We've known each other a long time. Oh, yeah. If you've got a question about a supplement, if you have something that you want to improve and you want to talk to a professional about how supplements and what supplements can help you, talk to Janet Cimarelli. She's a licensed nutrition counselor. She's available for free consultations. But they do ask you to make an appointment because Janet is in demand. You got to make an appointment. You can make an appointment in person at AJ's, but it might be easier to call ahead. And they open up at 10 a.m. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. And today at 10 a.m. on all of our radio stations, catch Janet Cimarelli's radio show. All right, Janet, have a great weekend. You sound like you're going to be busy, and we'll talk next week.
We will. Stay warm.
All right, those of you who want to hold standby, back with the third and final hour of today's Steve Kane Show after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to...
Oh, now Steve and I have a meeting today after the show, and William Youngerman's closed today, but Steve bought some silver coins from William Youngerman, and he had me pick them up yesterday. Do you guys want to see them? It's a tube of silver coins, 25 in this tube. They're in this tube. I'll show you guys in the next break. I got to open it up. These are Steve's, not mine, but this is a tube of 1 ounce silver coins. So there's 25 ounces of silver in here. And they're Australian kangaroos, which is it's legal currency. I'll show them to you in the next break. I wish these were mine. But William Youngerman's closed today, and Steve's coming up to Boca. This is about an hour drive from Steve's house, so I stopped by and picked them up for him yesterday.
South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE. That's 1-888-GO-KANE. 1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All righty. Yes. 4 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. And my goodness, if you are on the road, I'm at the top floor of our office building. I can hardly see the road outside the window. It is so foggy out. If you don't have to be anywhere, stay home. I would stay off the roads today unless you have to. And drive slow with the lights on low beam. Oh my goodness. This is, there was fog when I came in, and I really haven't looked out the window. Oh, I can't even see the beach. Usually you can see the beach and the sunrise. There's no sun, there's no sunrise, there's no nothing. Well, welcome back, everyone. 2 hours down, less than an hour to go. 1-888-GO-KANE1 is our number. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bob from Boca.
Hey, Bob. What's up, Bob from Boca?
A number of things you're talking about sort of tied together. Strict interpretation of the Constitution, which is the Supreme Court Justice, federal and state rights, and also Trump versus Pence. This happens in America in a very definitive way, 30, 40, 50 years in a cycle, and that a strict conservative interpretation of the Constitution is not necessarily a strict interpretation is not necessarily conservative. It's interpreting the Constitution specifically.
You're reminding me of Stephen Breyer yesterday. You're like Stephen Breyer. You're a man of a few thousand words. Can you talk more like a human and get to the point?
Okay, the pending abortion interpretation is much like Earl Warren's court had to do with the Brown versus Board of Ed. The strict interpretation of the Constitution for Brown versus the Board of Ed, there was nothing about that. The Supreme Court had to redefine it. And a very conservative guy, Earl Warren, who forced
Okay, but what I know you've been on hold a long time, so you've been on hold quite a while. So I'm giving you more. Steve is on his way to the radio station. We have we're meeting after the show today, and even though it's foggy, he's probably putting the pedal to the metal because I've kept you on way too long because but because you've been on hold for a long time, I'm being a little patient. Can he just what point are you trying to make?
The ruling on abortion is much like Brown versus the Board of Ed. There is nothing in the Constitution that specifically courts have to interpret that based on what's moral for America.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen. Thanks for the call. Maybe he called the wrong number. Maybe he's trying to call another radio show, because I don't quite understand what he is talking about. All right. Our number toll free 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. I learned something today. Leah Thomas. You know who Leah Thomas is? Leah Thomas is the transgendered swimmer that's breaking all the ladies' world records. I learned something today that I did not know. Something I probably did not need to know. But swimmer Leah Thomas, you know what she has that no other woman has that she swims against and beats all these records? You know what she has? She has a penis. Leah Thomas, the lady transgender swimmer that's swimming as a woman and breaking all the world records, has a penis. Yeah. Listen to this. Sharing a locker room with transgender swimmer Leah Thomas has become a point of contention for some of her University of Pennsylvania teammates who feel uncomfortable changing in the private space with someone undergoing gender transition. It's definitely awkward because Leah still has male body parts and is still attracted to women. One swimmer on the team told the Daily Mail in an exclusive interview. Leah has told her teammates that she dates women. When Leah covers herself with a towel sometimes, there's a decent amount of nudity, the swimmer said. She and others have had glimpses at her private parts. She stated that team members have raised their concern with the coach, trying to get Thomas ousted from the female locker room, but it's gone nowhere. Multiple swimmers have raised it multiple times, the University of Pennsylvania swimmer said. But we were basically told that we could not ostracize Leah by not having her in the locker room, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Now, when I was in school, I'm sure they don't do this anymore. When I started junior high school here in Florida, we were required to not just dress out for PE, but we had to shower. And I had a gym teacher, this was here in Florida, who, thinking back on it now, was probably a pedo. If you did not shower in gym, well, we call it, in Ohio, we called it gym because we were always inside in the gym because it's so cold. But here in Florida, they phys ed, PE, where we're outside. If you didn't shower, okay, your grade for the semester was docked 1-letter grade. If you didn't shower and you had an A, you now had a B. And do you know how they kept track of whether or not you showered in PE? The gym teacher would go to the shower, because we had a big group shower, with his grade book. And if you weren't, and he'd come into the shower with his grade book. He was probably a big pedo. But anyway, the girls had the dress out and shower too. They didn't let it now. And a lot of guys, 7th grade, puberty, they didn't like getting naked in the locker room. They didn't shower. There were a lot of F's in that class. But they didn't let us go to the girls' locker room. And the girls, they had a lady PE teacher that did this because, you know. So Leah Thomas has a penis, is attracted to women, and exposes her penis in the University of Pennsylvania girls' swimmers' locker room. We basically have to roll over and accept it, or we cannot use our own locker room. It's really upsetting because Leah doesn't seem to care about how anyone feels about it, the swimmer continued. The 35 of us are just supposed to accept being uncomfortable in our own space and locker room. She said University of Pennsylvania's handling of the locker room issue and the school's overall approach to the Leah Thomas controversy has them bending over backwards to make Leah Thomas feel welcome without seeming to care how it affects her teammates. So, how would you ladies feel if you were in a locker room or your girl was off in college and they were forced to shower with someone with a penis who's attracted to women? I don't think you'd like it. The school was so focused on making sure Leah was okay and doing everything they possibly could do for her that they didn't even think about the rest of us, the teammate says. It just seems like the women who built this program and the people who were here before Leah don't matter. And it's frustrating because Leah doesn't seem to be bothered at all. We're going to take our first break of the last hour. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I think these girls should go on strike. They should refuse to swim. The girls should go on strike. Make Leah Thomas swim alone. In my view. I mean, this is just insane what's going on here. This is insane. It's hard for me to believe it's even happening. Our number's toll free. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires.
Steve Kane Show.
Budget and buy your tires at
Hey, Barry.
Tire in Margate.
Steve Kane Show.
All the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone.
Hold on.
Discount prices.
Oh, okay. So, Steve, this is Steve's silver, not mine. I want you guys to know. I wish it was mine. This is from William Youngman. He bought this tube of silver. These are Australian kangaroos, and there's 25 coins in here. You can see them. I like the noise they make. Listen. Pretty cool. And these are Australian 1 ounce silver coins. So on the front, they have the queen. And then on the back is a kangaroo. Pretty thick, too. I asked Steve if I could show them to you. He said okay. All right, welcome back. It is 15 minutes after the hour. Time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. It's a foggy day, though. I wouldn't want to be on the road right now.
Yeah, well, anyway, I want to wish everyone a happy Friday, and a few things to update you on as far as the Siegel Law Group. Number one, we're continuing to grow, and we have more attorneys now. We have 4 attorneys, and we've got one who seeing clients up in the West Palm Beach and Palm Beach Gardens area, another one down in the Fort Lauderdale area. And I've been told that I'm saying this right. Hablamos Español. We speak Spanish as well. So if we need, if anybody needs a Spanish-speaking attorney, we can help with that. And so today I wanted to
see, there's the kangaroo.
Talk about the fact that we can help people not only avoid probate, not only avoid guardianship, but also make sure that when you leave your assets to your loved ones, they can be left in a way so that they stay in the family bloodline by leaving it to them in trust. That way, if you're
they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Child is your beneficiary.
I like the noise they make.
To be married and have kids, and you want to stay in the family bloodline, they don't lose it if they get divorced, and that divorce rate is close to 60% for all married couples. Or if they were to predecease their spouse, so it doesn't end up going to the spouse, and then to that spouse's future new spouse, and then to that new spouse's kids. It stays in the family bloodline. So
see, and then they come in this plastic tube.
Accomplished, and one of the things that happens, Brian,
they come in
when we review people's estate plans for free. We notice that a lot of times people think they have this bloodline planning and they don't. So it's very important, for a lot of people that's an important goal, and that's something that we can help them achieve.
Yeah, and congratulations on the growth of the firm. I remember, Barry, when it was just you. Now, things are going well, and that's awesome. And the reason you're having so much growth and so much success is, you do good work for people. And incredible word-of-mouth business, because I've met so many of our listeners that are clients of the Siegel Law Group, and they just sing your praises and the praises of your entire staff and team over there, Attorney Barry Siegel. They do. And I tell you this often, the biggest commonality between all of these people is the sense of relief they have, a weight off their shoulders because everything's taken care of. So listen, guys, it's a completely free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Barry on the radio. Here's the number, toll free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, have a great weekend. We will talk next week. All right, take care. Attorney Barry Siegel. Give him a call, guys. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Christian. I'm in Bowling.
Oh, hey, Christian.
That is a lie. That man is... That's a lie. That's a typical leftist lie. How do they get away with these lies and actually make people's behavior change based on these lies?
Well, what's going on here is you're answering your own questions. Okay, go ahead, answer your own questions, and I'll comment.
Because it puts the left in contact with their spiritual power source. Satan is the father of lies, and the more they lie, the more spiritual power they get.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, spiritual.
Yeah. Well, okay. No, there's some of that, and I tell you, I think I've mentioned this on the radio before. I know I've talked to people about this off the air. I have this app called Bible Is, and it reads the Bible to you, and it's with actors and everything. It's very dramatic. Completely free app in all the app stores. Bible Is. And I've, for the first time, through the app, I'm reading Proverbs, which is I can't believe how amazing Proverbs is. I've never, it's amazing. It's amazing. Proverbs is amazing, and I come to realize that every self-help motivational speaker in the world, I think they're just ripping off of Proverbs. It seems to me. But anyway, no. But what's going on here, though, between all the last 2 years of restrictions and limitations and now this gender thing, they're changing our culture, these very evil forces. And like there's another story, I wasn't going to mention this today because it seems minor, but there's a new version of Minnie Mouse that they just released where Minnie Mouse is dressed in androgynous clothing. The stories say a pantsuit. It's not a pantsuit. In fact, the new Minnie Mouse, you can't tell if it's Minnie or Mickey. And they're doing away with gender. The cultural shift. Yeah, go ahead.
And died, the left took it over.
Yeah, Walt Disney was an anti-union Republican, but what I'm saying is, that if you see everything that's going on, this thing with the swimmer, the thing with Minnie Mouse, these seem isolated, but there's hardly a day that goes by that there's not a story out there where they're doing away with genders, and a lot of people believe what I'm about to tell you, and I think there's some truth to this. There's more gay people today than there used to be, right? And the general feeling is that, well, there's more gay people. There's not really more gay people. They're just out of the closet. They were in the closet before. I don't think that's the... No, that's not why. The reason that there are more gay people today as opposed to 20 or 30 years ago isn't because people are more comfortable coming out of the closet. There's more options for young people before, right? There's options that were not there for us when we were younger, and I don't think all these people are gay. I don't think they're all transgendered. I think there's a lot of brainwashing going on about what's acceptable, what's unacceptable, and there's options that are acceptable that weren't even a known option when we were young, and that's why these things are going on. But what's happening, this is the deal with the left, okay? The left have no sense, okay, of boundaries, and whenever they get something, they go further. So gay rights activism fought for a long time to have gay marriage, be able to be out of the closet, and they won that. So what happens? Now they got this swimmer with a penis swimming against the girls, beating records by over 30 seconds that'll never be, usually world records are broken by a tenth or 100th of a second. It will be. This Leah Thomas, who's a sociopath. I've seen Leah Thomas in the photograph with the swimmers and seen some video. This is like a Ted Bundy-like mindset, a complete sociopath, walking naked with a penis in the girls' locker room. I mean, that's a crazy person. This Leah Thomas with the University of Pennsylvania is going to bring down the entire transgender trend that's going on in this country because they pushing too far, breaking boundaries. Like this story today about I did not know that she had a penis and was walking around exposing it in the girls' locker room and is straight. So real question is this really a transgendered person, or is this just somebody that was mediocre on the boys' team and is swimming with the ladies now to get records? Mm-hmm. All right, take care. It's very, so a lot of times people get obsessed over a lot of these things. The liberals will always, in the end, screw themselves, and that's what's going on now with this gender business. There's on Twitter, there's an account on Twitter that you really should follow. It's called Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok. Have any of you seen Libs of TikTok? It's amazing. Libs of TikTok is a conservative Twitter account, and and it's a woman behind it who's remained anonymous because she's smart, but a young conservative woman who sounds to be like in her 20s or early 30s, millennial. Because I heard her interviewed on Eric Bolling's show on Newsmax a few weeks ago, but she didn't show her face or give out the name, so we don't know who it is, and they're smart. And what Libs of TikTok does is they go through TikTok all day and show you what liberal school teachers are doing in our classrooms, and a lot of it involves transgenderism, okay? And what they're doing to promote transgenderism in the classroom, and they have gone over boundaries that I didn't even know existed in this country. And what's happening here, and these approval ratings of Biden and Kamala, it's all connected. Okay, it's all connected. The next two elections, the Trump red wave, MAGA wave of the midterms, and then in 2024. There is going to be a massive backlash against everything the Democrats are doing now, from Biden in Ukraine to this transgendered swimmer. And they are so liberally radical, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, okay? And you might think I am, but I'm not. The Democrat Party is so out of control with their radical liberal agenda today. They make the Barack Obama two-term administration look like Ronald Reagan conservatives compared to what they're doing today. And this out-of-control crime. They got one guy I saw in New York, shot a cop, and he's out on bail. What the hell? You get bail for shooting cops? I don't care how much money you have. What's going on with the crime waves in this country right now in our major cities? These next two reactions are going to be a pushback. I was listening to, I'm not sure if it was Newt or Karl Rove. I can't stand Karl Rove, but if he said this, he was right about this. That the Democrats are counting on this Supreme Court pick to bring them victory in the midterm elections. And they pointed, it was either Newt or Karl Rove said this. I can't remember which said it yesterday. They said George W. Bush had a big Supreme Court pick right before the midterms, and he lost the midterms. In the midterms, people don't care. Supreme Court picks don't drive a party to victory. People care about how much gas cost, inflation, things like this. And it's a disaster. And I was talking to Steve last night about this. We were talking on the phone. And he made a good point. Joe Biden, right? Has Joe Biden done anything he hasn't screwed up in his life? And I seriously am asking that question. If you can think of it, call me. No. And even Obama said that Joe Biden is always wrong and screws up every decision he's ever made was wrong. Barack Obama said that. He used some other choice language I can't use on the radio, but that's Barack Obama said that about Joe Biden. What the media are celebrating is a slam dunk, home run, nominate a Democrat black woman to the Supreme Court. Joe Biden has not done anything he hasn't screwed up. He's going to screw this up too. How? I don't know yet, but he will. Mark my words, he will. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, there's a lot more to talk about, so don't go anywhere. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stacy from Deerfield Beach. This is in reference to Champaign Automotive. I went over there. They're wonderful. I have a Kia Optima Echo Hybrid. When I called, it needed service. I didn't want to bring it to the dealership because they would charge me through the roof. And basically, when I did call, they said bring it in the next day. He's amazing. He did everything. He didn't overcharge me. He went through my car, and I would recommend anybody to go to him. He's absolutely amazing.
Well, Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca, they do great work, and I want to thank you for calling. And I learned something about Champaign Automotive Repair from you in this call. I did not know that they actually did repairs on hybrid vehicles.
What had happened was when I brought it to the dealership, they were like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. And when I heard about Champaign Automotive, I called when I got there, and I said, he goes, well, I already ordered the oil filter.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And so I dropped it off. I don't have many people to take me back home. And so he ordered Uber for me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's service. Thank you for the call as well. And anyone else out there, Champaign Automotive Repair, their prices are great. They'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Their number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And what's your name, caller?
My name is Stacy, and thank you very much, Champaign Automotive. And thank you very much, Brian and Steve.
For Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free
Steve Kane Show.
1-855-FLA-3782.
Hey.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Wow. Someone that I know, I'm not going to tell you who, sent me a video that is just shocking. Right here in South Florida, it's a video on the corner of Oakland Park Boulevard and Federal Highway, and it's Trump supporters. They're on the road with their Trump flags and everything, and it's crazy. It was election day, okay, last election day. And someone came up and started shooting them with BBs, with a BB gun. Oh my goodness! You can put someone's eye out with BB guns. BB guns are very dangerous to shoot at people. Nothing to mess around with. Oh my goodness! Unbelievable. Pretty frightening. Pretty frightening. But you know what? I still wear my MAGA gear everywhere I go. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. Wisconsin, Gary. How you doing, Gary?
Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind?
Well, not too long ago, probably 8 months ago, we ended up buying a name brand pillow, or not a pillow, a mattress. And next thing you know, it was like, after a short 8 months later, the bed ended up concaving. So we ended up buying the My Pillow mattress. And believe it or not, Brian, for 2 days since we've had it, I have gotten the most wonderful night's sleep. And my wife can contest, like, the first night that we got it, that when we were watching you on the show, that all of a sudden, it didn't take long. I was already actually snoring in her ear. So that's how quick this mattress is really done for us. So we were really happy that we got this mattress. It's great. It just completely enlightens you in the morning and everything. And it's just an outright great product.
Now there's the My Pillow mattress. You don't hear us talk too much about that. I know Steve bought a My Pillow mattress for one of his daughters. She was having severe back pain. Her back pain disappeared. Do you have the My Pillow foam or My Pillow coil mattress?
We have the foam mattress that we have on here. So, I mean, it came wrapped up really good, and we were sitting there wondering about that. If it did have the coils in there, how would that, the coils being wrapped up in there? So this one is an actual foam mattress, and you got to basically unravel it and let it, sit. But you can sleep on it the first night. But, if they said you can sleep on it even after it's unraveled, and it'll still get back to its normal we just love it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on the My Pillow foam mattress, 30% off, and you get 2 free My Pillows with that, as well as a free set of 100% cotton Giza Dream Sheets, and free shipping with the promo code Kane, Kane.
And then on top of that, when we made our order, we also got Mike Lindell's What Are the Odds book. So, I mean, that was a great thing that he also included in with the mattress. And, I mean, believe it or not, I don't get time to read much books, but I'm going to probably for sure read it.
Let me tell you, that's a great book. I have that book, and it begins in the 90s with Mike Lindell working in a bar. And it's amazing to me, where he was and where he's at.
Done with all the great inventions with sleep and walking My Pillow slippers. I mean, we're pretty much 90% My Pillow household with everything that he almost has. The only thing that my wife doesn't want is a bathrobe yet, but I told her I think she needs to get the My Pillow body pillow, and then I'm thinking I'm going to get her a robe here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're a My Pillow house too, and this morning I was at home doing my show prep. Kat comes in to my office at home and starts meowing at me, and I'm like, what's going on? Her My Pillow pet bed was in the dryer. She wanted her pet bed, so I took out the My Pillow pet bed, threw it on the floor, and she laid right down, went to sleep, and stopped meowing. So even our pets are My Pillow. Well, that's a great story, Gary. I appreciate that, and thanks so much. All right, take care. Yeah, he's a good MAGA guy there, Wisconsin Gary, with his My Pillow mattress, 30% off with the promo code Kane. You get 2 free My Pillows, a free set of the 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets with the promo code Kane, and free shipping. That's amazing, right? And you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. So if you've not done it already, cancel whatever plans you have Saturday and Saturday night, because Saturday night, tomorrow night, Trump has a rally in Texas. He's doing 2 events in Texas on Saturday. One is a private ticketed event. The Freedom Tour that Don Jr. is a part of is in town in Texas where the Trump rally is going to be. He's doing that first, and then he's coming to the Trump rally. And, I was talking earlier about Jesse Waters had Pence on last night on his show, yucking it up. I don't think Fox is going to carry the Trump rally. I'll be watching it, switching between Newsmax TV and Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube. I like to watch the whole day's events. And what I've done is, because I want to support both Right Side Broadcasting and my friends there and the great Newsmax TV, what I do is I keep Newsmax on my television. And if you have Newsmax on your cable system, turn them on your cable system. Because Newsmax during the last Trump rally in Arizona, Newsmax had more viewers than Fox and CNN combined, and maybe even MSNBC combined with that, but certainly more than Fox and CNN. They were number one by far. So give them that television rating. Put Newsmax not on YouTube. Watch it on your television if you have it. If you don't have it, put it on YouTube. And what we do is we have Newsmax on TV, and then on our phones and iPads, we're going to have it on Right Side Broadcasting. So we can support Right Side Broadcasting and Newsmax. And if we could make Newsmax TV number one in the ratings, again, that would be some accomplishment. We'll find out early because Newsmax will tell us at the beginning of the week. But I had plans on Saturday. They're canceled. And I'm going to stay home. And I'm going to watch the Trump rally. And I'm going to watch the whole day's events. I like it because both Right Side Broadcasting and Newsmax send teams there to cover it. And I really enjoy them interviewing. Right Side and Newsmax do it a little differently. Newsmax tends to interview like public officials and activists from the area, and then Right Side circulates in the crowd and interviews people in line waiting to get in and shows you all kinds of things. So the coverage is the same event, but it's complimentary coverage. So you can support both of them, and certainly I'm going to do that, and you guys should as well. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1 888-465-2631. Let's take a call or two. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Jerry. Old timer Jerry.
Oh, hey, Jerry. Hadn't heard from you in a while. I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah, I'm still here, guy. You know, two things quick. Sometimes you get a little rowdy, a little mean, but that's part of what you do. But I noticed when you were talking to the lady from Hollywood, she lost her job and everything. You do have a good human side to you, guy.
Well, let me tell you. Are you talking about the lady that lost her job in the entertainment industry in California yesterday? Oh, that was a sad call. In fact, I was here early today, and I got a call from the overnight dog walker that leaves all the voice messages. I answered the phone. He called before I went on the air. I talked to him off the air before the show, and he was talking about that call. I give people a lot of grief, okay? And I know I get rude with people and callers sometimes, but I never, under any circumstances, do anything that would harm somebody's ability to earn a living or harm them personally. That's a line I never cross. And that's, our callers are all anonymous unless they choose not to be. We give nicknames to everybody, and everything else. That's part of that. And I do not do anything that would harm anyone's job or ability to earn money to support themselves and their family. And when people do that, I was talking earlier about poison people that you cut off. That's something that I have no respect for. And that poor lady from California yesterday, I wish I could have helped her. All I could do was let her vent. I was sad.
Yeah, but you have empathy. That's a good.
Oh, you didn't know I had empathy until yesterday? How long have you been listening to the show?
Oh, well, since the beginning.
So until yesterday, you didn't think I had empathy for others? Oh my goodness.
It really showed up yesterday. Good. And let me jump over to Janet. I would go to Janet for years and years and years again, a long time. There's another good lady. She's a really, really good person. Stuff, better and so forth, she's great, but you also have to say what hell of a nice person.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Jerry, I appreciate it. You doing okay? Your voice is a little off. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just not up yet. I'm just laying in the bed, so I'm listening to you guys.
Oh, you're talking to me from bed. That's, in morning drive, I figure a lot of people are in bed, in the bathroom, God only knows what they're doing overnights.
Probably awake.
Yeah. All right, hey, listen, take care, Jerry. Yeah, some of our old-time listeners, we just don't hear from them anymore, I don't know, when you put together your final, documents with Attorney Barry Siegel, you guys can put in your trust and notify the Steve Kane Show of my passing. Because sometimes, some of our callers pass away and we don't hear from them anymore. It happens. It happens when you're the longest running radio show in Florida on the radio for 45 years. Sometimes the show outlives some of our listeners and callers, but hopefully we have new ones joining us all the time. Of course we do. Anyway, yeah, so the Trump rally tomorrow night is going to be an important one. And I'll tell you, the Trump rally in Arizona, I thought that was Trump's best speech ever, in many years at least. And it was new, fresh, talking about the issues of the day, and I think we're going to see that today. And I think I mentioned this earlier in the week. The list of speakers was released for the Trump rally in Texas tomorrow night. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, who's running for re-election, was at the top of the list. And who was not on the list? Allen West. So it looks to me, it's confirmation. I told you this months ago. President Trump has endorsed Greg Abbott for governor. And I don't know why. I'm not in Texas, so I know people got their own problems and grievances with their governors at home, but they know things we aren't privy to. A lot of MAGA people don't like Governor Abbott. I don't know why, but Trump has endorsed him, okay? So that means if you're in Texas, you vote for Governor Abbott, not Allen West. They haven't had the primary out there yet, have they, for governor? I don't think so. Even if you like Allen West. If Trump endorses someone, even if you don't like them or you have a personal beef with them, still support and vote for them, because Trump's got a big drain the swamp picture here. And this red wave, they're calling it a red wave because they used to have the blue waves, and I like red wave, but it's really a MAGA wave. President Trump, they were hoping, when I say they, I'm talking about the Uniparty, right? The Republican Democrat establishment. They were hoping President Trump would start a third party, the MAGA party, and thankfully he did not do that. He's reforming the Republican Party to be a true Republican conservative party. This is a MAGA wave. He's MAGAfying the Republican Party, draining it of these rats, Republicans against Trump. So whoever Trump endorses, no matter what your personal feelings are, that's who we support. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Juan from Boston.
Oh, hey, Juan.
Morning. Brian, I don't watch the Jesse Waters show because Greg Kelly's on.
Yep.
The one thing about Greg Kelly, I can never put my finger on it as to why I just respect and appreciate the man, and I finally figured it out about this past week, and that is that he's having an actual conversation with his audience. It's like he pauses, he says, "Hey, I'm throwing this out at you," but the fact that Mike Pence, and that's the other point I wanted to make, Mike Pence, you talk about a Judas, you talk about that other guy that used those.
Mm-hmm.
Why we would, and you're right, it's a MAGA way. But the fact that we have this guy, he could have reconvened the Senate, but
well, when Jesse, I want to focus in though on Jesse Waters last night. I'm Greg Kelly guy too. I think he's the best in cable, and I've been promoting Greg Kelly for a year, and but he is growing a lot. But because Jesse is new this week, I gotta pay attention to what's going on so I can talk about things on the radio. So I was flipping back and forth and was just appalled when I saw Pence come on with. I'm going to play the clips after the Gold Report again. But so people can hear this yucking it up he did. For him to do that, I find it to be a betrayal to Trump, a betrayal to his viewers, Jesse Waters, and especially during his first week to bring Pence on and try to resurrect his reputation like that. That's an unforgivable transgression. Hey, listen, he betrayed his wife, the mother of his children, so why should it surprise people that he betrays Trump and his viewers? But Carlos, I got to run. I'm late on the break, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back with the Gold Report right after this. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the
Wesley Lewis, $10 super chat. Thank you. What's that?
So you have some empathy in you, huh?
Yeah, I know. He's been listening for 20 years, 30 years. I know empathy. I know. Yeah. Yeah, hi, how are you? Wesley Lewis, $10 super chat. It was somebody from the office. They came in to laugh that Jerry thought I had empathy. Wesley Lewis, $10 super chat. Thank you. Good morning, Brian. I believe one of the real threats with regard to our national security is China's aggression towards Taiwan. I'm convinced that China will, and it will go with the microchip supply chain. Yeah.
West Delray. If you want to correct
You're right on the money.
Problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to...
Hey there. Great, hold on.
Scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose.
Yeah.
It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now in Coral Springs. They give great
Oh, boy.
listeners, and tell them to see you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954.
Oh, Main Street Moments. That's my wife. Good morning, Kathy.
954-90.
See, it's time for the gold report. Here's Steve's silver coins. Hear the noise they make? See, on one side, they have the Queen of England. These are 1 ounce silver coins. These are Steve's. Kangaroo on the back, because these are Australian coins. All right, and it's time for the most listened to portion of the Steve Kane Show, the Gold and Precious Metals Report with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are the metals looking today?
They're doing very interesting. They're giving us an opportunity to really take advantage of a shakeout in the precious metals. Bull markets, they say, are very hard to ride, and it's no different with the precious metals. They'll often take a chance or take a turn when they try to shake out the metal out of the weak hands, and that's what it's doing now. But it gives us, who are strong buyers, great buying opportunities from time to time, and this is one of those times. We saw gold down $22.30 yesterday, closing at $17.87.60. Silver was down 77 cents at $22.73. Platinum lost $8 at $1,020, and palladium was up $46 at $2,308. Many people are asking, what's with palladium? The problem is the concerns. Much of palladium comes from Russia, and concerns over the Russia-Ukraine situation that may interrupt the flow of that very important metal for catalytic converters. Gold this morning down, trading in a range of $1,780 to $1,801, and right now it's $1,787. That's down $9.90. It seems to have bounced off that $1,780 support area. We'll see if that holds. I think it probably will. Silver down 12 cents at $22.60. Platinum at $1,000, down $20, and palladium down $50 at $22.58. That's pretty much where we are.
Yeah, the metals are on sale. That sounds good to me, right? And I was doing something during the break, William Youngerman, that you cannot do with cryptocurrency. I have these silver kangaroos that I picked up for Steve yesterday from your store, and I'm holding them in my hands and making that really nice noise that you can't do this with Bitcoin, people. And I was showing people, these coins are so beautiful. People are amazed by them. Yeah, they are beautiful, and they're silver. William Youngerman, open, not open today. You're shut down. You're closed today, right? Okay, starting on Monday, back normal hours. And when they're back open on Monday, they're normally open Monday through Friday, but closed today. They open up at 10 a.m. weekdays. The number 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and you can stop right in. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday. All right, take care, take care. So I started the show with this, and I'm going to end the show with it, and it was Jesse Waters with Pence. I was flipping back and forth last night between Greg Kelly and Jesse Waters. And I flipped over to Jesse Waters, and he started a segment on Kamala Harris's trip to meet this anti-Semitic communist president down in Latin America. And perfectly fine introduction, and then he goes to his guest, who's Mike Pence, and I was appalled. I was in shock. And he's yucking it up with Mike Pence. I got the hell out of there. I went right back to Greg Kelly on Newsmax, and I don't know if I'm ever going to go back. That was really a step too far. I mean, that was a Chris Wallace move. You know, that was like a Chris Wallace move. Greg Kelly played a clip of Chris Wallace last night when he asked President Trump in the debate with Biden, "Will you condemn white supremacy?" What kind of question is that? The question itself implies that he is a white supremacist. It's so stupid. You know, and what Jesse Waters did last night, that was Chris Wallace territory. And I have these two clips. I played them in the first hour, but I'm going to play them again for you now. And the question I was asking earlier, did Jesse Waters betray Trump with this last night? And I have two clips. One is his introduction. I'll play that first, and then I'll play the goodbye to Mike Pence. And this was just too much for me. Let's see here. Here's his introduction to Pence last night.
Former Vice
Steve Kane
President
Show.
Mike Pence joins me now. Good to see you, Mr. Vice President. Great to see you, Jesse. Congratulations on the new show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. We're very excited.
So when you did the handoff with Kamala Harris during the inauguration, I'm sure you gave her some very sweet personal advice. Do you think she's taken your advice? I mean, what did you tell her? Did you tell her to go find out root causes? You know, well, look, that's an old mantra of back in the days of the Obama-Biden administration.
Okay, so that's the introduction. He's yucking it up, little PR thing with Pence. Why did he do this? So then I was out of there, but I wanted to hear how it ended up, so I went online, I pulled the beginning and the end off so I could play it for you guys. This clip is when he says goodbye to Mike Pence at the end, and in this clip, he's promoting Mike Pence's presidential campaign.
Mike Pence, who
Wesley,
you'll be
$20
seeing
super
in
chat.
your
Thank
neck
you.
of the
Everyone
woods
thank
in a
Wesley.
Ford driving through. Give him a honk, Mike. Promise I will. Thanks, Jesse.
Wow. You know, and I take that as a betrayal. I'm sorry. On his first week, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That is our number. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Dee in Florida.
Oh, hey, Dee. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I definitely have a comment about Jesse Waters and last night.
It's Dee from the chat room.
A couple of things that I noticed is, if it were me and I was Jesse Waters, I had a show like Jesse Waters, and my bosses told me that I needed to interview him, bring it onto my show. I couldn't even act the way Jesse Waters did. I would look at Mike Pence with the feeling that I have for him as MAGA, America First. I couldn't even act the way Jesse Waters did, so he was very cozy, and that...
Yeah, called him Mike. Called him Mike, not Mr. Vice President even. Good to see you, Mike. Yeah.
To see you, Mike. So.
Listen, he works for Fox. If they told him to do it, which we don't know that that's true, he seemed to be pretty buddy-buddy with him. But if they told him to do it, and I wouldn't say he shouldn't have done it. He's going to walk away from a contract and millions of dollars. But it would have been a very bland, generic interview if I were forced to do it. It wouldn't have been this resurrection of his reputation to humanize him and then promoting his campaign in a way that he did. I would be like, oh, go to MikePence.com if you need his campaign. It wouldn't have been, we'll see you in that Ford truck, and if you see him, give your hat tip off to him. I mean, my goodness, it was too much.
I know what you're saying, but his cozy, chummy, happy buddy, slap you on the back kind of attitude was, look, could you imagine Maria Bartiromo talking to Mike Pence? It would have been a very professional interview, and it certainly wouldn't have been yucking it up like a...
If Steve and I did that with Mike Pence, I think this audience, I think you guys would be pissed off at us, and you'd let us know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here'll be the test. Okay, here'll be a test. I'm not going to watch Jesse tonight. I'm not going to watch it. But he does... I'm back on Greg Kelly. I mean, that was just too much. The goodbye at the end was just too much. But he does this thing now where he gives out his number and people can text message him. There is no way in hell his text messages have not blown up with people about Pence. If he didn't show those last night and he doesn't show them tonight, that tells you that's just garbage. That's just,
Not only that, I mean, did you notice the look on his face the entire time with that smirk and that smile and glee?
Well, I think they have a mirror that he's looking at, and he can't help but smile at himself, looking at himself in the mirror. Bongino was on last night, and he says, I know you're getting tired of people congratulating him. He says, you know me, I'll never get tired of it. And Bongino says, well, knowing you never will. He's in love with himself, Jesse Waters. But like I said to the other caller, he betrayed his wife and the mother of his children. Why would he not betray Trump?
Well, you know what? You bring up a really good point, because guess who else is the betrayer? The guy he was interviewing.
Yes, that's correct. Bunch of Judases. The Judas Club. All right, Dee. Thanks for the call. And that's going to be the last call of the week because we're out of time. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Great calls today. Some new callers with some interesting viewpoints. Some old-timers that have been listening to me on the radio for 30 years who just learned yesterday that I have empathy for other human beings. Oh, my goodness. Jerry. Oh, boy. I'm not communicating well. Hey, listen, Steve will be back with us on Monday. My name's Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See you then.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, Wesley, $20 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley. He says, I will never go back to Fox News to watch anything ever again, not only because of Waters, but also because of the betrayal of Trump by Hannity and McEnany that was exposed. Yeah, that's, the Hannity texts. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Thank you so much, Wesley. All right, guys, I got to take off because I got to give Steve his silver. Speaking of Judas, no, just kidding, his pieces of silver. No, but I'll see you guys later, all right? I'll be online here over the weekend. I'll see you then.